Hey y'all, welcome to part 2 of the Love is Blind reunion with my girl Keisha. If you're looking for part 1, that's already in your feed. Just go and find it. This is a 2-part episode, and here we go with part 2. So Nick says, all right, so again, I'm so happy they asked these questions, Keisha. It's almost like they were listening to the podcast because Nick says, you referenced on Love is Blind that you had watched Love is Blind, right. And there was somebody on there who was the way a husband should act. And he goes, and who was that? And he goes, well, famously, like I'd never watched the show before. Right.
Right.
So we did sit down and watch it with 80's mom. And the person I'm talking about was Brett. All right. And everybody loves Brett and Tiffany. They're really great.
This whole thing, I had tears in my eyes.
I bet you did. I did
the whole
too.
Conversation between, it was a lot. It was heavy.
It was great. Heavy. He said, Brett, he says, Brett acted like a good black man, a good husband. I shouldn't even say black, just a good husband. Yeah. And I thought, I can't do it that way. I got to do it my own way. But, I think Brett is such a good guy, such a stand-up guy. And they say, Brett, how do you feel? And he's kind of like, excuse me.
Right. Yeah. We were all kind of like that a little bit.
Yeah, it was. And his wife too, and he says, thank you, man. He says, that's humbling to hear because I also didn't come from a perfect house either. Right.
Yeah.
And I've had similar worries myself. Like, how could I be with one woman and be a good husband? And it's a credit to my wife that she's given me this space to become this person and be this good husband. And, I did wonder, will I know how to show up? Will I know how to be a husband? And as a black man to a black man, I am humbled by this and I thank you. And I was like,
that was a lot. I'm like, oh man, I am tearing up over here because it was so raw and so real. And it's so true. It happens so often in the black community. These men are raised by single mothers and they don't have that strong male role model. And it's very sad. You know what I mean? And
it's interesting.
He ended up having to find a role model.
They respect their mother so much.
Yes.
And they idolize and worship and respect their mother so much, but they don't maybe see their mother as a woman. So maybe I shouldn't do this to a woman,
Yes. And it happens so often. So I was really glad to see that was addressed because it's very sad and it happens so often, it just broken households and the mom has to be the mom and the dad and, do their best to raise these men. And it's just, that was a good moment. I applaud that moment.
Yeah, it was great. So now we move on to Johnny and Amy. We some funny clips from them from the internet and they love each other, super in love, very grateful for each other. No, they hadn't had any fights. They just have some disagreements, but everything's perfect over there.
That's great because by week 2 with me, we going to have a fight. We're going to have a big blowout.
You had a fight with James right before we started this podcast.
Mary Payne, you added on to that little fight with your suggestions. Okay. And it hurt his feelings because I said, Mary Payne suggested these things, but they were suggestions. It didn't mean that I had to follow through with what she said. So Mary Payne, you made a bad situation worse.
James, I'm trying to help you, man. Trying to help you. It's so funny.
There's no help.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of somebody worshiping their wife, good Lord. So he doesn't care how mean you are. He just powers him further.
I don't think I'm mean. I'm just not lovey-dovey like how he is. It makes me feel uncomfy.
I'm uncomfy.
Yeah.
So, all right. So they're in love, haven't had any, fights, whatever. But now we're going to get some viewer questions asked by former cast members. So I guess they had to have the former cast members do something.
Yeah.
So they gave them some cards to ask questions from viewers. Okay.
Which they just could have done a cute thing where the viewer got to ask the questions, or I don't know, they could have fucking asked the questions themselves.
They could have been host. Yeah, right. Like, oh, they have some questions. Okay.
Yeah.
So we asked the question about the birth control with Johnny and Amy, of course, which is what we all want to know because that's their only. That was the only problem they had.
Yes.
And other than the money, they didn't ask them about that.
Mm-mm.
And he says, look, honestly, like I was uneducated on birth control. I never had to think about it as a guy. And Amy's like, yeah, I had to educate him like a lot. And she says, because I think the question was, did you guys never think about condoms? And
Right.
she says, and I still didn't have to get on birth control and do something I didn't want to do, but he did not get a vasectomy, and we have figured it out. We have figured it out. We figured it out. That's all you need to know.
Oh, I wanted to know a little bit more. Like, how did you figure it out?
Are they on the rhythm method? You know, or they just
I
only don't
maybe,
have sex during ovulation? Like, I don't know.
you know, she's a crystals girl, so maybe they kind of surround his body with crystals that
Mm,
don't get women pregnant or something like that.
could
But
be.
that was a really still a weird thing, how afraid he was of having sex.
Right. Having a baby. I mean, because they did not have sex. I think they did have sex before they got married, but I think it was like the day before.
Think so? I
Mhm.
bet I bet he used a condom, but he still pulled out.
That's what I think too.
Yeah.
That's what I
Mm-hmm.
think too.
Yeah.
He double bagged it. Okay. So
Yeah.
Chelsea says, then we moved on. So Chelsea says she was a bit hurt about when Laura and Jessica had that conversation at the bar. And
Mm-hmm.
Jessica was like, I mean, Jimmy, like, I mean, you know, when he sees me, okay, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Um, Jessica apologizes. She said, Chelsea is now one of my very best friends in the world. And that was disrespectful. We were kind of in the
Mm-hmm.
moment having the conversation. I shouldn't have said those things. I've apologized. I'll apologize again. You know, I love you with my whole heart.
Of
Now, come
course, it
on.
had to be her whole heart, and I don't
100%.
feel like she loves Chelsea with her whole heart.
No, I think just half the heart.
Yeah. Are we not going to mention that Chelsea came with a whole new face?
Oh, I didn't think she looked like a whole new face. I thought she looked
She looked like
great.
she got some fillers or something.
I thought she looked amazing. I would like to know her lip color. It is good.
I Someone else was asking that question too about her lip color,
If somebody knows
but
or if she's
from the
posted about it,
show.
yeah, I'd like to know.
Hmm.
I can't ask her because I got so much hate on that reel that I put up about her. I can never reach out
Which
to her.
one? Which one?
Oh, the one where we made fun of her running with the T-Rex arms going.
I mean, damn.
I mean,
She was running like a T-Rex but making puppy dog sounds. I mean, that's something to talk about right there. I didn't
yeah.
know you got hate for that. Who
Oh,
was
girl.
hating? Who was hating?
I think that reel got like 500,000 views. How
What
many
did people
followers?
say?
How many followers did I get from it? Like 200.
What did they say?
Oh, just like you're not a girl's girl. Way to cut her
Oh
down.
my
Way to
God.
kick her when she's down. She's on this show being vulnerable. Why are you such a mean girls? Blah blah blah.
No way.
And then somebody fucking tagged her, and I saw it like pop up on my phone as a notification. And I sent that shit so fast to my social media girl. I go, figure out a way, take it down. And she goes,
Oh my God.
she went in and removed the comment where Chelsea was tagged. I couldn't find it. There
had
were so many
no
comments. I couldn't
idea.
find it. Yes.
You know, it's so funny that now this big thing is you're not a girl's girl, you're not a girl's girl. But
Mhm.
yet, the same people that are saying that will talk shit about a girl. Like, it's
Right.
like you're saying someone's not a girl's girl, but then you're talking your shit about that person who so happens to be a girl. Look, you are I don't get it. That's why I'm just like, this is so fucking dumb. Here's the thing. These people are on a show where they know the risk of being on the show. People are going to talk about you from head to toe.
Yeah.
You weren't talking about how she looked. That's weird behavior to me, to run with that wasn't a good run. That wasn't a sexy run or anything like that. And the sound was funny. I can't believe you were getting hate from that.
Oh God. It's okay. Listen, sometimes it's okay. So I did get, a few hundred followers from it. So
Next time tag me, because I'll
no
fight
girl.
for you.
No girl. Mm-mm. Not Keisha in the comments. No. Uh-huh. So Jimmy, what did your friend think about Chelsea sharing your little secret with the world? Now, you did notice he never said which friend it was, and he referred to his girlfriends, the two girls, a lot because he doesn't want anybody to know which was the one.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So he says, what did your friend think about Chelsea sharing your little secret with the world? And he was referring to his friend. He says, she didn't deserve that. She's there for me as a friend. And, my girlfriends were there to be supportive to me and be a friend to Chelsea.
Right.
And of course, one of them is really pissed
Mhm.
off about it.
I bet you the one that he didn't sleep with is the one who's the most pissed off about it.
Why?
I don't know, I just have a feeling. Because
Could
that's
be.
how I would be in that situation.
Like I wonder if that friend who's their bestie doesn't know. And now she feels like she's been in the dark and they have a secret.
That could be true too. That could
Mm-hmm.
be. Chelsea was wrong for that.
Totally.
There's just no way that anyone could fix it to where that was right. She knew what she was doing. And I have to say, there was multiple times that you could tell Chelsea wanted to lose her shit during the show. Like she's rolling her eyes. She's uncomfortable. You can see it all over her face that she wanted to, if they had given her a glass of wine, she would have lost her shit.
During right. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Don't
She just didn't have the wine in her.
Don't give her any of that Love is Blind Chardonnay that Cupcake didn't send me.
No.
No more press for them. So he says, yeah, one of them is really pissed off. And he goes, when she told me like she has an ex she hangs out with, she goes, no, I don't hang out with him. So he goes,
I don't believe her.
But he clammed right up. And so he says, I could take it. Like I'm on the show, but they didn't deserve it. Keep saying they. I was like, did you bang both of them? He says, but they didn't deserve it. And yeah, I told her because I'm planning to marry her. So I'm telling her everything. Yeah. And Nick says to the crowd, he says, do you guys think that she should have mentioned it on camera? And they're all like, no, she shouldn't have. But we understood that it was weighing on her. It was really obviously really on her heart. And Chelsea goes, it's a real life relationship. And I feel horrible about it. I feel horrible that I did that. I've apologized, but it was weighing heavy on me. And after all that time, I forgot about the cameras. Also, I was shit-faced. So I just thought it was a plant. I didn't know it was a cameraman, Yeah.
Yeah. It was that she was shit-faced because she had enough time to talk about that situation when the cameras were not around.
Right. Totally.
Yeah. She gets loose lips when she drinks.
Yeah. And she says, I forgot about the cameras. And Jamie says, well, she definitely has a right to her feelings and for speaking on it. Like, absolutely. I just didn't love the way it came up. And she goes, I agree. I completely agree. I shouldn't have done that. We can agree on that. And he says, this was the defining moment for me.
Right. So I don't think they're together.
And he says, and the right thing would be for me to have let her go in that moment. But it's hindsight, and I drug it out because we did love each other so much. So
and he was scared.
In his mind, he's like, the next day I should have broken it off. Like the next day when she was sober, I should have broken it off because he felt so betrayed by that.
There were so many times he should have broken it off.
But, they just made a post together like the day of the reunion. And people, I think maybe you sent it to me. Somebody sent it to me. It's a post of them together.
Were out to dinner or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just really good friends.
Maybe.
I don't know.
So Nick says to the other people, he says, when you watch the show and you see behind the scenes, like, did it change your minds on them, Chelsea and Jimmy as a couple? And AD goes, yeah, it really did, because Chelsea is so fun and outgoing and carefree. And to see her that way and to see her insecurities highlighted was really hard to watch because we don't know her like that. That was interesting, didn't you think?
Yeah, well, it's because it was just like how she was in the pods. You know what I mean? Really carefree, fun, funny, goofy. But then in the real world, I think that's the real her. How we saw her.
It's interesting, too, because as this conversation, so they turn to Jessica and like, hey, girl, hey, Jessica. We see Chelsea and Jimmy sort of rub each other's legs and hold hands.
But then they let go real quick. It wasn't for like a long time.
Right. So it's interesting, right? So are they together? Are they not? So
you know what they're doing? They're playing in our faces.
Don't play on my phone. Don't play in my face.
They're playing in our faces. Yeah.
In the spirit of self-care and Women's History Month, today's sponsor, OneSkin, is here to help you simplify your skincare regimen. Founded by 4 PhDs dedicated to skin longevity, OneSkin proves you don't need a complicated routine to achieve better skin. Their topical supplements make it easy to help your skin stay younger and healthier without all those extra steps. They combine tissue engineering, data analysis, and cutting-edge longevity science to create the world's most effective product to target skin aging. OneSkin believes the purpose of skincare is not just to improve how we look, but to optimize our skin biology so that it is more resilient to the aging process. Oh, I love it. They create next level skincare. The secret to all this is OneSkin's proprietary OS1 peptide. It's the first ingredient scientifically proven to reduce the buildup of those notorious zombie cells that contribute to skin aging. Fewer zombie cells means healthier, younger looking skin with fewer lines and wrinkles, reduced age spots, and a stronger natural barrier. Something that is especially important this time of the year. Your skin does so much for you. Return the favor with OneSkin. Invest in the health and longevity of your skin with OneSkin, and for a limited time, our listeners will get an exclusive 15% off their first OneSkin purchase using the code PINKSHADE when you check out at oneskin.co. Get started today with 15% off using code PINKSHADE at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code PINKSHADE. And after your purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. It's time you expect more from your skincare routine. Invest in the health of your skin with OneSkin. So they revisit the conversation between Jessica and Jimmy. And he says, when they met each other, like at the lake party.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, yeah, there was chemistry, but it's like a friend thing. But like, it's weird, right? Because you like had 2 women say they love you and like, it's weird. And Vanessa says, so I want to know, when you first saw a picture of Jessica, did you in fact choke?
Yeah.
And he says, listen, of course, like she's a stunning woman. I was like, oh, shut up, Jimmy. Shut up.
Did you see Chelsea's face?
Uh-huh. More than once did she give him the side eye.
Mm-hmm.
So then they ask him about the following and the unfollowing on the social media thing. And he goes,
that was funny.
It was funny. He goes, well, I followed her at the exact same moment I followed everybody else. And then I gave it a minute, and then I withdrew my follow request because she didn't follow him back. And he goes,
right.
I just saw it following her, like I was giving her the nod of approval. So I was curious to see it. Like he wanted to see it. Like if he followed her, then he could see it. But then he goes, it was a weird thing. So I just withdrew it. I was like, what are you saying? I don't understand. Nod of approval.
I think he thought that she was not going to approve the request. So he threw it back and then put his on private. Like, you can't see mine either if I can't see yours.
Okay.
I think that's what it was, a pride thing. Like, was she supposed to like accept it within like, I don't know, 25 minutes? And if not, I'm going to take it back. Yeah, he didn't think she was going to approve it.
Also, maybe she was like working or doing something with her kid. I mean, everybody's not always looking at their phone all the time. Kenneth. So, her profile was private, his was public, blah, blah, blah. And he says, but Jeramy is actually one that showed me the picture when we were at the gym.
Of course.
It's Jeramy. And Jessica's like, here's the thing. Chelsea is literally at this point, like 100% with my whole heart, one of my best friends. Mm-hmm. And Vanessa says to Jessica, are you cool with Jimmy? Everything's cool. And she goes, I thought we were cool. And I didn't think he was going to get so much hate, and like with Chelsea too. So, I sent him a message and I told Chelsea about the message. And I was mortified by it. I was mortified by the hate that he got. And she goes, I didn't find enjoyment in him getting dragged. And she goes, I'm not going to let somebody get bullied into oblivion. And we've joked back and forth with each other on social media and stuff. But then I saw an interview that he did recently.
Yeah.
And I've done plenty of interviews, and I've taken every opportunity to speak highly of Jimmy and our experience together. And he goes, what did I say? What part? And she says, you took the first opportunity you could to lie and throw me under the bus. And you said that I hammered you in the pods to make a connection and to propose or whatever. And that's not true. And I told you a million times, when and if you chose me, I want you to be sure of it. Yeah. And you said on one of our last dates, I stormed out after 10 minutes. And that's not true. It was way over an hour into the date, and we agreed to take an intermission. Like, why would you say that about me? And he goes, no, that's not true at all. Cause like I was being asked like why I didn't pick you. And I was like, these are some of the reasons. And the way that you spoke to me that day and the way you left the date early was the reason. And so I'm sorry if you see that as throwing shade at you. And, I know I didn't give you the reaction that you wanted in there because I read the letter that you gave me and maybe I shouldn't have read it. And we could probably both agree with that. She
But he
says,
was doubling down on like the time frame.
it keeps going. He keeps getting
Yeah.
worse. And she goes, I wasn't asking you to say that you love me. And it's even shown that I said more than once, just give me something.
Yeah.
And she keeps saying, and it was shown like, oh, I've watched it 100 times.
She had to. She was loving seeing herself on that screen.
Oh yeah. And she said, and he says, well, on the girl side, like you said, you love me, but you never voiced that to me. So like, there's two sides to not voicing our opinions. And you never once told me you love me. And like, and I don't know why I have to go first.
Right.
And she says, I felt like I'd given you so much. So I thought the least you could do was say it first. So they go back and
give
forth.
her something because he just was silent. Like that would have, like my head would have exploded. Just
they go back and forth about this, saying she stormed out after 10 minutes, and they go back and forth. He's like, to me it was like 10 minutes, but I could give you 45. And she's like, no. She was like, she goes, and also another thing you said that was rude was you said, I'm proud of the edit that Jessica got. And she goes, if I was getting a good edit, they wouldn't have shown all that shit I said at the wine night with Laura, because that made me look horrible.
Yeah.
And she goes, I thought we were in a good place, so I just didn't like you said all that. And he goes, every date with you was phenomenal, and you were everything I could have ever wanted. Again, what the fuck?
Is about to lose her fucking mind.
But I still believe it was just 10 minutes. And she goes, oh my God, somebody get the receipts, please. Somebody get the receipts, please.
And they brought them.
1 hour and 23 minutes into the date. He says, can we take a quick break?
Yes.
8 minutes later, they go back in the pods. 50 minutes later, they're still talking. So she says,
in like another country, that only equates to 10 minutes, Mary Payne.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's sort of like Clay. They spent 3 days at the altar. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that
same kind of math. And she says,
boy math.
So 50 minutes later, they're still talking. So now we're on, hour 2. And she says, you know what? This is kind of feeling forced, and we should leave this alone because this is not us. We should not do this. And he goes, I'm good with that. I don't know what else to say right now. I'm struggling to find my words. Thank you for wrapping it up. And it's total time. I don't
know what he was thinking.
2 hours and 13 minutes. And they say goodnight, and I hope to talk to you tomorrow. Nobody stormed out, and it wasn't 10 minutes.
No.
What's he talking about?
He's so traumatized from his relationship with Chelsea.
Yeah.
I just think he's fucked up in the head. I really do. You know how victims try to recount certain things and they can't, so they have to get hypnotized a little bit.
Yeah.
So they can go. I think that's the situation with Jimmy here.
Vanessa says, well, something else that took over social media, and you see Chelsea go, oh no.
Yeah.
The debate about does Chelsea look like Megan Fox? And Chelsea goes, yeah, I've got regrets big time, like a throwaway comment. I've got total regrets about it. But I got to say, I am proud of how I've handled myself. Like I've taken it with grace. I've seen the humor in it, and they're all like, yes, and I have to agree with that. She has really,
did it.
She has, because she's really gotten hammered. Really.
Like, actually, I posted somewhere because someone did another comparison. Like, are we still talking about this?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah,
let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Just let it go. At this point, people are just repeating the same shit.
Right. So one couple who knows what it means to be in a love triangle is Zach and Bliss from season 4. That's the guy who chose another woman. They went to Mexico together. Her name was Irina. He gave her the ick. She left Mexico or whatever, and then he found Bliss and asked her to marry him, and they still got married on the season within that time frame, even though he went to Mexico with the other woman.
Oh, so they showed their wedding.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So she didn't even have that Mexico week, so they got married in even a shorter time frame.
That's crazy.
Crazy. So here's a clip from their recent baby shower. Blah, 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 blah. Kwame and Chelsea are there. Tiffany and Brett, they're all still close. Whatever, move on. Alexa
And
and
so were all the gold cups were there too.
of course. By the way, I tried to buy them for us, but sold out everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
Alexa and Brennan say they were about to start an IVF round, and then she got pregnant naturally, and she's 5 months along. Alexa, you're knowing as being the spicy one, however, she goes, I have questions, and she pulls out some cards. So Alexa asked Brittany and Kenneth, didn't you ever just want to do it to see if you could create that crave?
Mm-hmm.
And Brittany goes, finally, we got our time. So, I've been sitting here for 4 days or 2 hours, depending. She says, for me in a relationship, sex is just a supplement. It's like an add-on. And I don't think I should have to test it out before I make my decision. And we made that promise to each other and we stuck with it. Now, did you notice the whole time they're talking, she has her hand on his leg?
Yeah. They had more chemistry on the reunion than they did in the DR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something right. I'm going to tell you something right now.
Maybe she smelled like a dolphin at the reunion.
Maybe. But I'm going to tell you something. If he starts to date somebody else or she starts to date somebody else, they're not going to like that. Them being so buddy-buddy. That's not going to work.
No. Well, they talked about that. Like, what are they going to do? Because, oh, no, that shit wouldn't fly with me at all.
The hand on the leg is not cool.
No, I'm like, I'm your friend. I'm your everything.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need another woman. You don't even need your mom. You just need, I'm the girl. Yeah.
That's it.
It's how you get your fucking hand cut off and you have to wear a hook.
Nick says, Ken, when you got back from the Dominican Republic, you could practically hear people screaming for you. Get off your phone. Did you realize you were on your phone so much? You're like addicted to your device. And he goes, listen, I was very into my fiance, but I love my school. I love the kids. I love the teachers. I love the parents. I'm an on the ground principal. Like I'm in the classrooms every day. I was gone for 3 weeks and I was using that to get an opportunity to reconnect, with everybody. And they're not used to having me gone that long. And I love my job. It's the most important thing to me. And I'm trying to figure out a middle ground, with a relationship and also my job, but I own it. I was on my phone a lot. Okay. They laugh.
And I believe his reasons too.
I do too.
And I think I said that. I think he's like, look, he was a principal. Like he's got all kinds of emails in there that he's.
Oh God, yeah.
He's got to answer. Yeah.
So they laugh about, was he playing Candy Crush? Was he looking at dolphin photos? Was he looking at a picture of Brittany in a dolphin costume? Whatever.
That's funny.
And Nick says, it seems like you didn't seem very fazed by the breakup. And some viewers will call it gaslighting. And he goes, I could see how that would look at people at home, but everybody processes things differently. And I was upset, but I didn't, I called Clay, man. I was in shambles. And Clay's like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well then there you go. He's right.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. And he can't, everybody processes differently.
And then you have to remember, these people are trying to process shit with a camera crew in front of them.
Yeah, right. So where do things stand now? And she goes, we talk every day. Like we FaceTime every day. I've been to his school. I've met the kids, met the parents, met everybody he was emailing with. I've been to the family barbecue and I'm cutting his hair tomorrow. And he's been with me to my job. I was like, what?
Why don't y'all just fucking date?
Just date. Just date.
Maybe just go ahead and have sex. And maybe that really will just bring that crave. Like the question said, that'll just... I don't know, because there was so much chemistry between the two of them.
Yeah, totally. And she goes, we're not in a relationship, but we have that bond for eternity. And we have this lasting friendship. And so Nick says, do you guys give each other dating advice? And they said, that's funny. We did recently just talk about like how will it affect a new relationship if we ever got into one that were such good friends. Right. And I was like, it's not going to, let me tell you in the words of Dorinda, not well, bitch. It's not going to go great.
No. We don't do that over here. No.
And so Vanessa goes into this whole thing about like how they've been together, she and Nick, for 18 years. And then watching the show really helps them learn about their own communication or something. I was like,
okay. She was trying to have a her moment.
She was.
Yeah.
So, and her dress was great, by the way.
I'm on the fence about her dress.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it.
I wanted to love it. I'd have to say the same for Chelsea's dress. I wanted to love it, but it was just something was missing from both of them.
Chelsea's dress sitting down looked amazing. You know what I mean?
I feel like the feathers should have been bigger. Like something just was like it was almost there, but something.
Right.
I don't know. There's something.
So, hey, there's Colleen and Matt. She was just in a ballet. She's a ballerina. Okay, they live together now because for a long time, like they both kept their same apartments. But a lot of people were like, that's smart because you got married. You don't even know each other. But they wanted to get married, but they didn't like jump into moving in together.
Okay. Well, because they didn't know each other.
They didn't know each other. Other people were like, that's not a bad idea. Hey, Colleen and Matt. Okay, they live together. Great. All right. Now, Matthew, Superman, he did decline to attend. Did he tell AD and Amber the same thing in the pods? Roll the tape. Let's see the receipts.
Yeah.
It
was like the exact same words.
Yeah. We can leave it together right now, but I have to talk to your dad. Yeah.
I know. I don't know what category to put that in. So crazy.
So then they ask AD, hey, did you ever talk to Matthew in the real world? And she goes, I did. And then they look at Clay and Clay goes, and they said, Clay, do you know about this? He says, yeah, I know that she met up with him. So we're like, say what?
Well, because Matthew's hot. I would have met up with him too.
I find nothing attractive about Matthew.
Oh, no, he is. That's kind of my type right there. He is hot. That face. He's cute.
No, not. I disagree. Respectfully. In the words
See, y'all, we do disagree sometimes.
We disagree a lot. That's okay.
We do, actually.
Y'all, what if you could get an extra 43 hours of sleep per year? Here's a secret. You won't get that with your cotton sheets, but you will get it with Clean Bamboo. Attitude sheets feel unlike anything else you've ever slept on. And no, they will not cost you or the earth, because right now you can get $35 off your first order with code PINKSHADE. They're unbelievably soft, Clean Bamboo sheets. They have over 20,000 five-star reviews, and in a controlled sleep study, sleep efficacy improved by 1.5% per night, which adds up to that whopping extra 43 hours of sleep per year. You know, in the morning when I'm scrounging for seconds of minute or rest, just sending up a desperate prayer that my alarm clock doesn't go off and make me furious, that extra time is a godsend. It is the epitome of luxury. And it's not just the softness. In that study, 94% of participants preferred Attitude sheets to competitors, which means you'll sleep better throughout the night and wake up feeling more rested than ever before. Simply put, the Attitude sheets are the secret to better sleep. They're so sure that you'll love sleeping with them that you can try Attitude bedding risk-free for 30 nights. But yeah, risk-free for 30 nights. If you're not completely satisfied, you can return the sheets for a full refund. So never miss a good night's rest and recovery, again, with Attitude. So y'all know I got the sheets and I immediately ordered a second set for my bed. So now I got 2 sets for my own bed. Then I ordered some for both of my kids. They have thanked me. They're thrilled. Next order will be for the guest room. So when my mom comes, she'll be happy when she comes to visit because the sheets stay so cool and so soft. So don't forget, you can get $35 off your first order plus free shipping for a limited time when you visit attitude.com/pinkshade. Do it. And she says, I did. We went on a few dates. I was like, why is everybody not more shocked? I was like, what the fuck? They went on a few dates.
Because he's cute.
And she says, first date, he really just wanted to apologize to me. I'd appreciated that. And I thought he was kind of cute. So I said, all right.
Yeah.
So we had a second date and he cooked me dinner. And so they said, how many dates did you have? She was like 2.5-ish. So we don't know what happened on the half one. Maybe she just told him, no, I don't want to date you. Right. She said, we live 2 completely different lifestyles. He's very disciplined. Everything is, to the minute. And I'm really more like the wind. And he had fizzled out. So whatever.
Yeah.
And Clay says, they asked Clay how he feels about it. He goes, it's okay. She can do what she wants and everything. And it seemed like, I knew him in the pods and everything. It seemed respectful. I don't have a problem with it. And he's not here and whatever. Okay. Now let's move on to Chelsea and Kwame. They've been married for 2 years. Now, what you don't know about Chelsea and Kwame is not one person thought he was going to say yes to her at the altar. She was so obsessed and in love with him. And all she talked about was like how she liked to bang all the time. We're like, we get it. You like sex. Okay.
Okay.
She was very much like our spiritual body connection through the moonlight
Oh,
and his
one of
skin on my
those.
skin. We're like, oh, gross. The love making. Blah, blah. And
Okay,
like
romance novel.
for one of their things that they did like after Mexico, she
Mhm.
hired a photographer to take like sexy underwear pictures of the two of them together.
Oh,
And they were like in saggy Calvin Klein white underwear. It was very weird.
oh, he went along with that?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Odd.
So he really wanted more of a bohemian lifestyle, and she like was very like settled in like Portland, wherever she lived. I can't remember. And because that season was either Seattle or Portland, and they lived in different cities, but he traveled to the other city for work.
Okay.
So they were trying to figure that out. And she says, yeah, I got a new job so I can be more of a free spirit. I can travel. I'm now helping cast for the best show on television, Love is Blind.
Yeah, we
And
want that gig.
I mean, wow.
Yeah.
And she says, and we could travel, we could be free spirits. We've been to Italy, we've been to Greece, blah, blah, blah. Okay, who cares? So now we see Micah and Izzy. They were not on same seasons. I think now Izzy, that's my type of guy.
He was cute.
So
He was
cute.
cute. Yeah.
So cute. But he had bad credit, and that's one of the reasons What's Her Nuts dumped him.
You can clean up your credit quick. All you have to do is contact Montana Mills and Juju and their credit repair company, and they'll get you all the way together.
Yeah, I don't think so. Also, they could have talked to like Clay. I wanted them to ask Clay and AD about like, I don't know where finances like that. Like they should have asked AD, like, let's tell us about your finances.
Yeah, because I'm still curious about that too.
Yeah, what did that mean? So is something going on with you two? You seem chummy over there. And they're like, we have an announcement. We're both going to be on the next season of Perfect Match coming this summer along with Jessica. All right, so we have to watch it, right? We have to watch it. We have to cover it. Okay.
Yeah, we got to watch Jess.
We got to watch Jess slay those guys to the ground.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
So Vanessa says, well, the Love is Blind community is the friendships, the sisterhood, the brotherhood. You know, even Micah and Jessica are now best friends and they love each other. That's my girl. Izzy, what's going on with you? Doing great. I can't wait to be on Perfect Match. And finally, my credit is fixed. Woo! He gets up and does like a woo for the audience. Okay.
Good for him.
My God, Jessica is best friends with everybody. She is a girl's girl.
I think she's a girl's girl. I feel that 100%. She is.
I do too. So
I wouldn't want to be taking pictures with her though.
Oh, no, me either.
Yeah, no, I'm like, no, that's okay. I'll take my own selfie, and no, I'm not standing next to her in a picture. No.
Then they'll send on a happy note. What was your favorite part? What do you miss about the show? Whatever. And Brennan says, watching the show was like therapy. It's so great. Like watching it now, you know? And then we see, this is the thing they chose to end with. Clay, before we end, can we ask you, did we see a video of you microwaving Gatorade? Now we see the actual video. Yes. And it takes a plate of food to the microwave. He was like, first of all, you should never, ever microwave anything in plastic. And he's right. And we see the actual video. It's weird because when he closes the door, it has to be a reflection, but we can't see what it's a reflection of.
No, but it does look like he is microwaving. I mean, I knew he was crazy, but I was like, he can't be that goddamn crazy where he's microwaving Gatorade.
Unless he put soup in there or something like what? Yeah.
And we know he loves soup.
We know he loves soup.
Oh, yeah. He loves a good soup.
So I was like, that's what we chose to end with? That's what we chose to end with.
That is, crazy. What was that? Was that a charcuterie board they were about to eat or something like that? It was food. Yeah.
You know, here's to the love, the search, the journey, and the happy endings. Yeah, I'm not above you. I'm not below you. I'm right here with you.
Yes.
I'm rocking with you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everybody does a little gold goblet toast, shot, whatever. And all the pregnant people are like, amen, get me out of here.
Where's the food?
Yeah. And you know, the audience, I was looking at the audience and they were all like stretching when they said.
They must have been in there a fucking long time.
I know. They definitely had to have breaks. Had to.
Oh, yeah. Because people got to pee and get a beverage and all that kind of stuff.
The pregnant ladies got to move.
I wonder, did the audience members all get a gold goblet?
Oh, they should have gotten more than that, but yeah. Yeah. What a like a top secret recording that was. Like, it had to have all just been Netflix people. They couldn't have real people, but I mean, the NDAs you'd have to sign.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true. Okay. I didn't think you always get me there, Mary Payne, because I forget about
thinking.
those things.
I'm always thinking.
We just weren't thinking yesterday.
I wasn't thinking yesterday.
Neither one of us were thinking yesterday with our geography lessons and tilting of the planets. And
by the way,
I got called out today. I got called out today in one of the groups.
I haven't looked at any social media today at all because I've only been taking notes all day. So like after this, I'm actually going to relax, but I would like take a shower, obviously. But I have to tell you that guys, if you heard that episode over on Pink Shade Prime, which you're here now on the $10 level, but this is also going to come out on the free feed. If you want to know what we're talking about, you have to listen to the Prison Brides episode 10. But we made a lot of geography dumb statements. But even afterwards, we got done and I was like trying to find the funny pictures to put up with the Prime episode. Mm-hmm. I even remembered I made a mistake about that Guam story because the guy didn't say Guam would tilt. He said it would flip over into the ocean. That's what he said.
Look, we were on some bullshit yesterday.
What was wrong with us? What was wrong with us?
But here's the thing. We were collectively dumb. So that's all that matters.
It's so embarrassing. And if I had any kind of pride as a podcaster, I would have removed all of it. But I have none. I know that I'm wrong and say stupid shit all the time.
Yeah, that's just what we do. You know, it is what it is.
And by the way, for the person who left the review that told me I should get over myself because nobody cares what my name is. I mean, some people care. But we discussed that yesterday. We discussed it yesterday. We don't have to go into it again.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yes. I would feel weird calling you Mary.
Okay, Mary. Hey, so question.
Yes.
We don't know currently. Adie and Clay, we don't know.
You know, I'm about to do a whole deep dive into all of them. I got like a couple of errands to run after this. And then I'm going to be in my bed on my heating pad looking at everyone's social media. So.
Okay, let me know because I want to know about Chelsea and Jimmy. They seemed real chummy.
I don't know. Maybe she's just going to be a friend that he fucks sometimes and like the other girl.
I almost just spit out my drink. Maybe he'll just add her to those other two.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking because he seemed too much of her crazy to be in a relationship with her.
Oh my gosh. That is funny.
Yeah.
I did appreciate that he said, right when you said that, at that moment, I knew it was over. And I should have literally like broken up with you on the spot.
We were praying and rooting for you to break up with her so many times, but your ass just kept coming back. You kept coming back.
If they really love each other and they want to make it work and she could tamp down those insecurities, they might be a great couple. We don't know.
We'll be watching.
Everybody, follow me on Instagram. That's where the good reels are. That is Pink Shade Pod. And if you want to see some real funny stuff and listen to Keisha, you got to go over to the Libra Lounge with Keisha. That's on Instagram. That's also the name of her podcast. And, be on the lookout. She might be having Savea on next week.
Girl, because it ain't going to be Joseph. I cannot. He acted a fool today.
He's going to be DMing you trying to get you. I hope you didn't give him like your real email address.
We emailed him because yes, he has but since we've been on the phone, he sent me something.
Okay, what is it? Update. Ding, ding, ding. Breaking news. Let me see what it is. Breaking news. Oh, Lord.
So he sent me a video.
Can you answer the question? Is my ex-husband a rich man?
Before you leave, of some of the lies.
He was married our whole relationship. Can you admit that?
No.
Can you admit to them that you was married our whole relationship? Can you admit to them that you did not tell me you was married until a year into the relationship?
Stop. I'm divorced and that's that.
When did you get divorced though?
Yeah, I'm divorced.
When?
Joseph, you really.
When was the divorce finalized though?
Okay, Keisha.
When I was in prison.
So he forwarded you that, and then did he say anything? Did he say, like, did you see this, or can't wait to talk to you about this, or anything?
No.
He didn't. He just sent it to you with no context.
Yeah.
All right. And did you tell James, like, you're going to have to, as my producer, you got to jump in and say, we're not doing this?
Hell yeah, I call him that. Yes, 100%. And James knows my mouth, and I'm gonna match your energy. If that's your energy, I can match your energy, and I don't want to do that because I try to be professional. But you know, but no, that was just a snippet of it got worse than what you just heard.
Yeah. But that doesn't sound that bad. But also maybe she was like Aaron and she just like it was too hard to get a divorce, so she was still married, but she hadn't seen the guy in 10 years or something, you know?
Well, she made it quite clear she didn't want to talk about it. And that was nothing right there. But you know, I'm so petty. I'm going to message him back. So I'm going to say, so was she really married?
And then I'm going to block you, but I'm going to find out first.
Because she says she has him blocked on everything.
Wow. All right, well, Keisha, keep us posted on the Prison Bride scoop, and I will talk to you later. Don't worry, guys; it's not the end of Keisha and I. We'll be back to do Life After Lockup on Pink Shade Prime. But until then,
she's trying to get rid of me, y'all. She's trying to get rid of me,
and I will have you on to talk about Potomac. Okay. All right, here we go. Last time, Keisha. Last time you got to see it. I'm gonna really dance for you.
She's really showing out right now, y'all.
Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad-free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.